Hi, it's Courtney. Stay tuned to hear about how you can use analytics to grow your channel. So I know when people hear about analytics, sometimes they're like, oh God. But analytics are super important to help you understand what you're doing on your channel. Is it working? Is there something that you can do to make it better? Like if I were to say I want to lose 5 pounds, or I say by next Tuesday I'm going to include 2 more pieces of fruit and eat that. That has a better chance. I can evaluate that that's quantifiable. So analytics is really a way to quantify what you're doing and how you're doing. And so this is the third part of the series. We talked about making your channel searchable. YouTube is a search engine. And then we talked about keyword phrases. And so you can use analytics for so many different things. Let's start with, is your topic searchable? Are people clicking on that title and on that thumbnail? So you would look at the click-through rate. And there is like a funnel area and you can see what your click-through rate is. And I would just say, look to improve that rate, because the higher, the more likely you're going to be suggested on YouTube. And so I believe it's about 2 to 10% that YouTube says new channels have. I don't get caught up in the numbers. Some of my videos have better click-through rates, some of them don't. And so you would just want to look to improve that, and that goes back to your title and your thumbnails and how you can improve that. Another metric I would look at is the view velocity. So how many people are watching your video within the first hour, within the first 24 hours actually makes a difference. And the more views you get within that period of time, the more YouTube will likely suggest your video. Again, you can't get too caught up in it because your video does stay on YouTube. So you might not get the largest amount of people right away, but it does stay up there. One of the things that you could do to improve the view velocity is take a look at when you're uploading. So for example, if your audience is on the West Coast and you're on the East Coast and you're uploading according to your hours, you might be missing an opportunity. So you might want to take a look at where your audience is and where they're located, and then you'd want to upload the video a couple of hours beforehand to give it a chance to be up and to be viewed. And so again, those are things that you can look at to help you get suggested by YouTube. Click-through rate, view velocity. And another metric that is super important has to do with your audience retention. And this goes back to when we talked about content. So your audience retention, there's a metric on YouTube, and you can look at the graph and you can actually see where people might be tuning out. And so for example, if you look at your video and you see people are turning out really early, turning off the video really early, it could be your intro. It could be as simple as your intro is too long and you might need to fix that. And so these are some of the metrics that you can look at to see whether or not your thumbnail is working, your title is working. That would be the click-through rate, and your content, your audience retention. So things like audience retention, your click-through rate, your thumbnails have to do with your click-through rate and your title. Those are so important in terms of YouTube suggesting your video. And so these are some of the metrics that I would look at. There's plenty others to look at. If you have any suggestions, I would love to know. Please leave that in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe so you get the next video that comes out, and I'll see you soon.